Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about what is new in this update because there's quite a few things that we need to cover. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So the very first thing I want to go over are, of course, the freebies. So when we come to our systems over here, get campaign items, receive item account, we do have the receive weekly Alpha Super Origin gifts. Remember, this is a weekly thing. I believe we still have like 3 or 4 more weeks of these gifts. So just make sure that you log in after every maintenance and you get a bunch of goodies. So this time we actually get a mini canoe build part. We also get an add preset skill level 1, but more importantly, we get the add preset skill enhanced success rate and substitute level 1. Remember, you can actually use this to get a Fixa level 2, alright? So please, even though it says level 1 over here, do not be mistaken and do not think that this will only work for Fixa level 1. You actually save this item and use it on your Fixa level 1 weapons in order to get it to Fixa level 2, alright? It's a 100% success rate to get a Fixa level 2. This is very, very valuable and you get it for free, so make sure to pick it up. Alright, with that out of the way, the next thing I want to talk about is, of course, the seasonal shop. So the seasonal shop has updated. So if we scroll down a little bit, you're going to notice that there are these like little red icons, basically signifying that there are a bunch of new items. As we can see right here, there's a bunch of new LC capsules. We got a bunch of Mastery 4s again, some Gigas Stat 4s as well. These are incredibly valuable, so make sure to buy these. We've also got some Dreadkeeper 5s, but more importantly, we've got a bunch of Alpha Reactors. So we can buy another 250 Alpha Reactors. So we're just going to buy everything because I didn't buy the 200 from last week, so I'm going to buy that as well. So let us just buy all of that. And as you can see here, I have 450 Alpha Reactors. If we sell all of that, that's actually going to almost give us 1.6 million Meseta. That is a substantial amount of money for free. So make sure to pick that up very, very easy. As for the other capsules that you picked up, just throw them into material storage. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is a new capsule. Yes, we have a new capsule. When we go to exchange enhancement materials and go to augment capsules, it's right at the very top, Mega Trial. And what makes this capsule so special is there are no negative effects to this. However, in order to craft it, it actually consumes your Trial capsules, which do have negative effects. And you can even use a combination of multiple Trial capsules. So as you can see over here, we used 5 Wardos, we used 1 Gardo, and we used 4 Spiros, and that works as well. However, you are going to need 3 Dio Tria capsules, which you can only get from running the new purple trigger. Now, thankfully, the new purple trigger is pretty straightforward, and every time you get an S rank, you are guaranteed 3 of these capsules, which means you can craft 1 of these capsules every time you run a purple trigger. So to access the new purple trigger, you simply just come to the quest counter over here, you go to trigger quests, and right here there is Aelio Intruders. All right, once you click on this, you're going to notice that there are 2 ranks. By default, I think it gives you rank 2, but if you click on this little tab right here, you can select rank 1. Now, something to keep in mind is the difference between rank 1 and rank 2 is not difficulty, it's just different bosses. As you can see, the enemy level for both of them is both level 89, and the loot is exactly the same between rank 2 as well as rank 1. There is absolutely no difference. So it's really up to you on which one you want to run. Personally, I prefer rank 2. I find rank 2 a little bit easier than rank 1, simply because of the different bosses that you fight. But nevertheless, if you want those D-Row capsules, you are going to need to run Aelio Intruders over and over and over again, as this is the only way for you to farm for these capsules. Now, the reason why you'd want to farm for these D-Row capsules in order to craft the Mega Trial is simply because of how much they cost on the market right now. If we look at the market, we go search product, and we don't need to search common purple, we search the trials. You can see they're going for almost 200,000 a pop. This is a lot of money, and you can definitely make quite a substantial amount of money from this. Now, some of you guys may have noticed that I was looking at the prices of purple triggers earlier, and you can see they have not risen in prices. There is a very good reason for this. The reason is because in order to run the new purple trigger, it actually doesn't require any triggers. So if we go over here and we go to the Aelio Intruders, you can see on the top, this battle dia where arcs can test their combat abilities. It doesn't say any cost over here. Versus Stia Devastators, you can see activated by using B trigger common purple times 5. So in order to run the Aelio Intruders, there is no cost to this. You can go in whenever you want, so feel free to just LFP it, because when you just go in with random people, it is relatively easy to clear. This is not super crazy difficult content. Obviously, you do want to get used to the boss fights and you do want slightly above average gear. So as long as you have about 160% potency, I think you're going to be fine in this content. As you can see over here, I currently have my Aina armors equipped that just have 3 LC capsules as well as 3 Trial capsules. Now I am super squishy because of this build. However, I am playing a Force main class, which means that I can fight from a distance, which makes the fight relatively easy because I can just stay away from harm's way. But there are some bosses that you do need to pay attention, especially in rank 1, I believe, where there are some bosses that constantly throw projectiles if you are at far range. So that is something that you do need to keep in mind. But nevertheless, as long as you're above 3,821 battle power, you can queue up for this. But I still recommend aiming for about 160% potency before going in here, because you want to make sure that you kill all 3 bosses within the time limit in order to maximize all of the rewards. Now, time is pretty generous in this, so you don't need like insane amounts of damage, but you know, the faster each run is, the more enjoyable it is going to be and less painful, because you know, if you're in a run with everyone with just LC capsules and just like really low damage and doesn't really know the boss fight, it can be very slow and very painful. Now, thank goodness there isn't a death limit, so feel free to die as many times as you want. It's not a big deal there. But you know, obviously you do want to eventually get good at this so that you can farm this efficiently in order to get all of your Dio capsules, as well as a chance of getting a wing guard. Now, the next thing I want to talk about are, of course, the Gigas stat 4s, because I know a lot of people are going to be farming the Aelio Invaders because they want a lot of these stat 4s to sell, because they're going for a decent amount of money. You know, if we look at the prices, this one's almost 30,000 over here. The Gigas Techniques going for 27,000. So, you know, it's a decent amount of money. However, unfortunately, from my small initial test, the Gigas stat 4s don't drop super often. You might get 1 in every 2 to 3 runs, so it's not bad. However, considering that if you're in an organized group, each run takes about 8 to 9 minutes, and if you're just pugging it, I'm assuming most players would probably take 10 to 12 minutes in that range. So getting a single Gigas stat 4 every 30 minutes, you know, you could definitely do better in a PSE combat zone, since this is only like, you know, we'll round up, we'll say 30,000 every 30 minutes. You know, you can do a lot better in dex base just farming raw Meseta, so that's definitely something you could look at instead if you are trying to make a profit. However, if you're just farming this for your own personal gain and you're killing multiple birds with 1 stone, let's say other than the Gigas stat 4s, you're also farming for the D-Row Trials over here, then it might not be a bad idea. And then of course you have a chance of getting a wing guard, which is always the cherry on top. Now, with that out of the way, the next thing I want to talk about is of course the new limited time quest, a Runes Interception. This is pretty much the same as the previous event that we had, and it's relatively simple. I do recommend running at least once, because you do get the anniversary SP scratch ticket. You get 10 of them for doing the first time completion, so that is definitely something you should do. For seasonal points, this is actually a pretty good farm for seasonal points, because it's actually super easy to kill these enemies. They're only level 80 and there's just 2 bosses, so it's super quick, super easy, and the rewards are pretty decent as well. You get a bunch of LC capsules, there's a chance of getting the scratch tickets as well, and of course you are pretty much guaranteed the vouchers almost every run as well. Then there is the wing guard as well as the Aina armors as a cherry on top, or just a little bonus. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.